The minimum wage. I talked about the minimum wage on my YouTube channel here and there, and I talked about it a lot in my other social medias, so I figured it was time to really do some deep diving. Let's do some deep diving. The minimum wage and overtime pay are rights. They are rights due to the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938. Inflation, which in theory is just a fucking concept, is when currency is devalued, so the prices of products inflate because it requires more of that devalued currency to meet the cost of a product. The devaluing of anything is generally due to quantity. The more you have of something, the less valuable it is, which is why small brain right wingers are afraid of to pay people. They're afraid to pay people enough to survive because they think that the government will have to print more money, will have more of it, and supply will worsen the demand, when in reality these fucking billionaires have hordes of wealth that just sit there and do nothing. How about instead of making more money to devalue a currency, we just fucking take their money, like how they should be paying their employees a living wage. I would say yes, taxing the rich is a good idea. However, I really think we should stop taxation for the working class American. The working class people should be living in a free market, a market that is unburdened by taxation. We are the backbone of the society, lifting everything up. We literally are doing all the infrastructure, the construction. We do everything, and we bust our ass. There's HVAC guys that get insulation in them. People die on the job every day. It's a very dangerous environment to be going out there. No one has health care. There's a lot of problems. So yeah, I do believe in taxing the rich, and it's not something that's really accomplishable, considering that people in power are the ones in control of taxation, and the people who are in power are the corporate overlords. Is the government. People, they have lobbyists, so billionaires can literally compensate the difference and still live more luxurious lives than anyone you will actually ever know personally. And yet for some reason people still have this just need to suckle on the titty of billionaires and just defend them for the fuck ever. I want to touch base on value real quick and about what value means. And in a system like ours, our banking system, just our economic system in general, it means nothing anymore. It's always been a very subjective concept, is value. So you say you're in the desert and you're with a billionaire and you're both dying, and you have all the money that you ever had, you have your wealth, and they have all the money that they ever had, but you're dehydrated, you need water or you're gonna die. So you come across this traveler who offers to give you water in exchange for your wealth. You could full on be like, yeah, here, take my money, I need to live, give me the water. Most people would do that, right? That seems like the obvious choice. Well, a billionaire, or even someone who's not a billionaire, even like your neighbor, or like even people who don't have that much money, can still somehow value their money more than living. They will actually rather choose to die. So value inherently is ultimately subjective and chosen. You choose what you want to value in life. This is the same thing for morals, okay? Moral values, people have different moral values, which is fine. We like diversity is okay. We have to understand why, we have to understand each other. So the fact that value is inherently subjective and people go around and act like, oh, well, if you do this, it changes the economy this way, like we can't just fucking reach a governmental hand in there and fucking fix the problem. Literally can't change it. We absolutely could. And the fact that people are just like, oh, you can't do anything is just the most disrespectful and stupid shit, because there are people who are suffering on a day-to-day basis. People are working fucking 40 plus hours, 40, 50, up to 70 hours a fucking week, busting their ass with no chance for a future, no chance to retire, no chance to own a home. And people will actually come around and sit there and just be like, oh, work harder. It's the most asinine shit. You want me to work harder? Why is that? Why is it so hard for people to just understand that oh my god, there's two options. Either I believe that no one's working hard enough and everyone's just lazy, or I believe that I don't have any empathy and I'm an asshole. Well, yeah, I mean, that was my quick economic lesson. I'm not a financial expert whatsoever, but I mean, it's pretty obvious shit. Inflation happens because currency gets devalued, therefore requiring more of that lower value currency in order to meet the cost of a product. And because of this, people think that we're just going to print a whole bunch more money, that we're just going to be printing a shit ton of money because of that. We would not be doing that. As a matter of fact, we don't even print that much. We have only $2 trillion, about a little bit more than $2 trillion in actual US currency that's circulating, guys. Come on. Seriously, we have over $4 quadrillion in our online banking system. Like our online banking system, that's leveraged derivatives. That is computer money, on your little mobile device that is in your bank account that isn't real. It's not real money. It's just on your computer screen. Okay? Now, work with me here. $4 quadrillion. Those banks are required to protect that money on your phone in that online banking system by backing that with real US dollars, real US currency, which we only have 2 trillion of. And you might not understand this, but here, let's compare it to something about how the US dollar is supposed to be backing that online banking system, just like how the gold standard was backing the US dollar. Do you understand that now? So basically, when you go to pull out like Silicon Valley, everybody knows what happened in Silicon Valley Bank. When you go to the bank, you go to pull out the money, and they don't have the money to give you, they become insolvent. And that's when they get bailed out by the government. The government will give them money, then they can give the money back to us. So the whole point is they don't have the money to give you. They don't have the money. It's not here. It's not real. It's all poppycock. It's a complex system. They make it complicated, and they say experts have to keep an eye on it and blah, blah, blah. When in all reality, it really just shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a complex system. It's your fellow man. It's the citizens of this country and the people around you, the neighbors and loved ones and friends that you have around you, your enemies. You need to take care of each other. We need to take care of each other. The fact that we have $4 quadrillion of leveraged derivatives just floating around in the banking system and only 2 trillion to back it, if you wanted to actually get enough currency to back the money in that banking system, you would have to print 3 quadrillion 998 trillion fucking dollars, which you do not have enough resources on this planet to print that much money. It's not possible. So that's where we are economically. It's up in the air. It's all gray area. We have no idea what's going to happen. Shit's just going to crash here and there. The stock market's going to do this, and you have to be always in it, and you have to be an expert in it just to know what might happen. And it's just such an asinine thing. And we have people who have taken advantage of the stock market in the past, like hedge funds with their naked shorts. And it's just been a massive economic struggle for the people of the United States. And we need change. Preferably change on how we view the concept of value. I think if we change how we view value and stop worrying about applying the inflation theory to currency and stop going, okay, well, if we have a lot of currency, then it's less valuable. How about we just define a fixed value for a currency? Why does a currency have to, and I understand there's a lot, I understand there's a lot that influences the change of prices because there's also foreign currency that does the same thing, but why don't we have a fixed value for currency, at least a temporary one, at least a temporary fixed value for currency, so that way we can bring down the cost of living or something. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I'm saying I'm willing to brainstorm, and so should you. We shouldn't just be like, it is what it is every day. You're more than welcome to do that. I think that's a very healthy mindset. I'm not saying that me thinking about this a lot is entirely a healthy thing to do, but when people around me have been suffering for decades and just the economy has been absolutely horrible, and we keep paying rent, which is passive income for landlords basically, because they just give you the landlord special and go ahead and paint over your outlets. I'm just being honest. There's some good landlords out there. Landlords, don't get me wrong, most of you are shit and bad apples. Same way how I view, please. Thank you.
Complete.